powered by Riverside FM.
Welcome to another edition of Unconventional Playbook. Please hit that like and subscribe button as always. And also, please consider becoming a member. Those that decide to become a member over the next couple of months will be entered into a drawing to win a Minnesota Vikings official Winter Warriors jersey. And you'll receive that a week before the NFL draft. So looking forward to that. Quick question for you, UP Nation, Skull Nation, Minnesota Vikings Nation. What were the Kansas City Chiefs before the Kansas City Chiefs were the Kansas City Chiefs? We all know that they have this dynasty. Today, they are going for a three-peat, which is absolutely unheard of, never been done before. But what were the Chiefs before they were the Chiefs? That New England Patriots dynasty, what were the New England Patriots before the New England Patriots? The reason why I ask this question is, man, I think it's a great time to be a Minnesota Vikings fan. Everything seems to be falling in place. Now, to be honest with you, this year was kind of a gap year, layover year, whatever you wanted to call it, but nobody expected 14-4, especially with Sam Darnold. We've gone over that. We just rehashed that to death. But all in all, in a rebuilding year to go 14-4, man, that's pretty scary. Not only did you go 14-4, which is absolutely phenomenal, but you went 14-4 while you were removing void years from the cap. And you're putting yourself in a situation now where you can do some things. If you're the Minnesota Vikings, you can really, really do some things. And I know that we've rehashed this before, but I just want you to look at it from a standpoint. Because are you smelling dynasty? If you're the Minnesota Vikings, I know a lot of things have to fall in place, man. I know we have to see what J.J. McCarthy is all about. By the way, I have said so many times that the young man is going to be a stud. I think his floor is being average, and his ceiling is in another stratosphere. That's just what I see from this young man, the way he carries himself, what I've seen in the past at the college level, what I saw from him in his short sample size with the Minnesota Vikings playing this past year. I think we got one, UP Nation. I think we got one. But the reason why I say that is everybody usually concentrates on the finished product. Everybody sees the Kansas City Chiefs now. Everybody saw the New England Patriots when they were on their run. But is there some comparison to what the Chiefs were before they started their dynasty, or the New England Patriots before they started their dynasty, to where the Minnesota Vikings are now? And everything seems to be placed in place. KOC, Coach of the Year. And you could argue that KOC should have been Coach of the Year 2 years ago when he went 13-3. You could argue that. So really, he should have 2 Coach of the Year titles, awards, whatever you want to call it, under his belt. Think about that. Think about that in the man's 3rd year with this team. He seems to have great aptitude. He seems to be a really good motivator. He seems to be a great culture builder. I've heard critiques about his play calling and all this other stuff. I'm not there with other people. Coaches are going to make mistakes during games. They're not always going to be perfect. But I don't think KLC even has his guys in here that he really wants to have in here. We're still at the ass end of that competitive rebuild. Everybody hates that term. But we don't have all the parts that we are going to have when this product is finished. As good as Brian Flores' defense is, he brought some guys in, and you can see what difference that made this year compared to his first year. I think it's even going to be better next year. When KOC and his coaching staff complete the puzzle in terms of who they want to bring in, what they want this roster to look like. The personnel decisions are key. Can I say Cooper Kupp? Cooper Kupp is going to be released by the Rams. Nobody's trading for him. And I think this is the destination for Cooper Kupp. So now you add Cooper Kupp to TJ Hawkinson, Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson. We're just getting better and better and better. And again, I would take another flyer on Aaron Jones. Yes, we should draft another running back. But Aaron Jones had career highs. Don't forget that. He had career highs, and he was a little banged up all year. And this thing is smelling really good. So let's just go there. KLC, Coach of the Year. Kwesi, he hasn't gotten his extension yet. But you know that's coming. That's being worked on. And I'm with you, UP Nation. The criticism that I hear about Kwesi Adolfo Mensa is always on the draft. And he receives a lot of heat for that, and well, he should. His drafts have not been stellar at all. But his free agency, his smarts, and his ability to restructure the books and put us in a situation now where we have some flexibility, sign me up for Kwesi Adolfo Mensa. I want to see the drafts get better, but sign me up for Kwesi Adolfo Mensa. Our coaching staff, Brian Flores, Keenan McCardell, McNown. I mean, these are guys that can go off and be head coaches at any point in time. And they're all on our staff. And let's not forget Mike Patton, who's been a head coach in the league. So you've got a great coaching staff. Can you see where I'm going with this, UP Nation? I'm just fitting all the puzzle pieces together. And the equation that I'm looking at is J.J. McCarthy being what we think he's going to be, or at least what I'm thinking he's going to be. And even if J.J. McCarthy is somewhat average, the puzzle pieces still fit. And I'm going to argue that he's going to have better seasons than what Sam Darnold had this year. And it may not be right off the bat. Again, he lost a year's worth of work. I do think he's going to be stellar next year. And there's no question in my mind that he's going to be starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. I still think he's going to have a good, I'm going to call it a rookie campaign next year because he missed so many reps. I think he's still going to be stellar. You're going to see it. You're just going to see the difference in the first game that he plays in terms of just his decision-making. To be able to add a component, because I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to be able to go downfield. His arm may not be as strong as Sam Darnold's per se, but he's got a legit strong arm. But the way he's going to be able to work the intermediate game and the short game is going to be something that the Minnesota Vikings have not had around here for a long time. His mobility to be able to get out of the pocket is going to enhance KLC's offense. And he's going to have a really good offensive line around him. There's no doubt that the Minnesota Vikings are going to address that offensive line. They better. They better. Can you see where I'm going with this, UP Nation? I'm telling you right now, all the puzzles are starting to fit. And I know it's a little reckless to talk about the Minnesota Vikings in terms of dynasty. But I challenge you to look back at what the Chiefs were before the Chiefs were the Chiefs. And I challenge you to look back at the dynasty that was the New England Patriots. And I look back at them and I ask you and challenge you, what were the Patriots before the Patriots were the Patriots? And I look at other teams around the NFL, and boy, the Minnesota Vikings are in a good spot. The only team that I could argue that might be in a great spot like the Vikings, everybody else is on the downtrend, but this one team is I would really put up there with the Vikings in terms of being in good shape, is the Washington Commanders with their stud quarterback and their flexibility in cap room. And they're going to be a place of destination for free agents. I believe they have more cap room than we do. So they're going to be players in the free agent market. And who wouldn't want to go there and play in that right now where the Commanders are as hot as they have been for a long time? Their owner, Snyder, has gotten out of there, and everything seems to be a little bit better. The sunshine is bright in Washington. And I feel the same way with the Minnesota Vikings. Everything is starting to fall into place. It's scary, man. It is a scary situation for the rest of the league when they look at the Minnesota Vikings. The Detroit Lions are on a downtrend. I believe the Packers have invested a lot of money in Jordan Love, so they better be right, or they're going to be in the same situation that we were in with Kirk Cousins, and I'm still not a believer in the Bears in that fiasco that's going on in Chicago. Everything is lining up right for the Vikings. Everybody looks at the finished product. And I ask you, what were the Kansas City Chiefs for the Kansas City Chiefs, were the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty that they are now? Are there similarities with them going through that stage and the Minnesota Vikings right now? Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's looking oh so good. It's looking oh so good. UP Nation, Skol Nation, be patient. Great days are coming ahead. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Consider becoming a member of UP Nation. You won't regret it. Lots of perks. And you possibly get that Minnesota Vikings official Winter Warriors jersey. This has been Unconventional Playbook. We will make sure to see you when we see you.